What's up, my YouTube friends? I'm Johnny V here. Today I'm going to tell y'all how to play, show y'all how to play a little bit of Baccarat. In this game, you have three choices to bet. You bet on the player, the banker, or you can bet on the tie. You can bet on the player and the tie, or you can bet on the banker and the tie if you want, as long as you meet like the table minimums usually. So in this game, face cards are worth 0, and everything else is the face value of the card. If you have a 9 and a 4, that's 13. You drop the first digit, so you only have 3. So the highest you can have is 9. So if you have a 9 and a 7, you have 6. You don't have 16. So I'll explain it to you. The object is to get closest to 9. Player goes first, 2 set of cards. Player shows 2. Banker has nothing. 9 and a 1 is nothing. So a card for the player. Player goes first. Player remains at 2. And a card for the banker. Banker's increased to 8. Banker wins here, 8 over 2. If either side gets an 8 or a 9, that's called a natural, and there will be no draw. Neither side will draw cards. Player shows 3. Bank has a natural 9. So banker wins, natural 9 over 3. No draw when either side has an 8 or a 9. You don't need to know the rules, but the dealer takes care of all the cards in this mini black game. Player shows 3. Banker has 7. So the banker always stands on totals of 7 or higher. Player goes first. Players increase to 9, so the players win 9 over 7. The set rules whether the cards are when the cards are drawn and if the cards are drawn. Player shows natural 9, there'll be no draw. Player wins natural 9 over 8. The banker had a natural also, but player won, of course, by 9 to 8. Player shows natural 9 again. Player wins natural 9 over 4. Remember, a 9 and a 5 is 14. You drop the first digit. Player shows 5. Banker also has 5. So the player goes first. The player's going to draw in totals of 5 or less. And the banker, when the banker has 5, it draws when the player's third card is a 4, 5, 6, or 7. If the player does not draw, the banker is going to draw in totals of 5 or less. Player draws a card. Player is reduced to 3. And remember, with the banker rules, when a banker has 5, it draws when the player's third card is a 4, 5, 6, 7. So this card is not a 4, 5, 6, or 7. So the banker is going to stand on 5. The banker is going to win 5 over 3. You don't need to know the drawing rules, but it'd be nice to be informed. Player 7 and stands. Player stands on totals of 6 or higher. Banker also has 7, same cards, 9 and 8. 7, 7, that's a tie hand. No win, no lose. A tie is a tie. No action on the player, no action on the banker. Had you bet the tie, had you bet $1 on the tie, it pays 8 to 1 most places. Player shows 5. Banker has a 6. So the player draws on totals of 5 or less, remember. The banker has 6. When the banker has 6, it's only going to draw when the player draws a third card and when the player's card is a 6 or 7. That's the only time the banker is going to draw on 6. If and only if the player draws a card and it's a 6 or a 7. Okay, the players are reduced to 3. So the banker's going to stay on 6. So the bankers win 6 over 3. Had this card been a 6 or a 7, the banker would have drawn over here on 6. Player shows 3. Banker also has 3. Okay, so the player's going to draw in totals of 5 or less. Remember, the banker has a set rule. When the banker has 3, it's always going to draw a third card unless the player draws a third card and the player's third card is an 8. It's not an 8, so the banker's going to draw. So the player had 3. The player's increase to 7. Card for the banker. Here, players win 7 to 6. My son's driving my car. It's not good. See, player shows 7 and stands. Banker has 6. This is a barbecue, so they call it barbecue. 7 to 6. Anytime it's 7 to 6 and neither side draws, the game over. 7 to 6. Had it been the other way, it'd have been the same thing. 7 to 6. Players, natural 8. Players win, natural 8 over 5. If you bet the banker and the banker wins, you pay a commission when you win. Well, they mark it up usually. They put coins in these little boxes here. Say you bet $5. It's a 5% commission. It's 25 cents. So they take a quarter, put it in your box here. So okay, you bet banker this time. Okay, let's see what happens. Player shows 2. Banker has 5. Players always draw in totals of 5 or less. The banker has 5. When the banker has 5, it draws when the player's third card is a 4, 5, 6, or 7. Players are increased to 8, but since this card is a 4, 5, 6, or 7, the banker's going to draw on 5. Oh wow. Bankers are increased to 9. Bankers win 9 over 8. So you get paid at 1-to-1 odds on the banker, and mark up another 25-cent commission. Like my Chuck E. Cheese coins? Alright, so say this time you bet the player. Player shows 2. Bankers have natural 8, so the bankers win natural 8 over 2. So the players lose. Gotta get back in practice. Casino's getting ready to open back up. Players show 5, bankers have nothing. It's going to be a 2-card draw. Player's going to draw on totals of 5 or less, and banker always draws on 0. Players increase to 6, players win 6-1. Remember, if either side has an 8 or a 9, there's no draw. Neither side will draw, and the game is over. Player shows 7 and stands, banker natural 9. Natural 9 over 7, banker wins. If you're trying to deal this game, it's best to talk it out, talk your game. Player shows baccarat, nothing. Banker has 6. Remember, banker will draw on 6 if and only if the player draws a card and it's a 6 or a 7. That card is not a 6 or a 7, so the banker wins 6-3. Are you catching on? Any questions? Let me know in the comments. I'll try to answer the best I can. Player shows nothing. Banker also has nothing. Okay, this is going to be a 2-card draw. Card for the player, card for the banker. Players are increased to 3. Bankers remain at 0. So the players win 3 over nothing. In a lot of casinos, they have a side bet on over here. It does differential how much you win by. If you bet on the banker and the banker wins, it's a differential how many points you win by. So I'll show you how that works. Player shows nothing. Banker has 1. So the players increase to 1. Banker wins 2-1. So had you bet the banker, you'd win 1-1 minus a 25-cent commission. But if you bet the bonus, in order to win the bonus, the dragon bonus, you have to win by 4 points or more. But since the differential is only 1, banker 2-1, banker only won by 1 point, so you'd lose that bet. And of course, if you bet player and the player bonus, you'd lose. I'll explain it again if I can. Player shows natural 8, no draw. Player wins natural 8, so the banker loses. And had you bet on the player and the player bonus, you'd win even money. You don't subtract it. You don't subtract on naturals, you don't subtract 8 minus 0. So it's just you get paid at odds of even money. Alright, let's see. Is it still running, James? Mm-hmm. Player shows 7 and stands. Banker wins, natural 9 over 7. So since it's a natural, if you bet the bonus, you get paid even money. How many minutes, James?
8.
8. Player shows nothing, banker wins, natural 9. Natural 9 over nothing. So had you bet the banker bonus, you get paid even money. Any questions, James? Player shows 7 and stands. Banker has 4. Okay, card for the banker. Okay, bankers are reduced to nothing. 4 and 6 is 0. So player wins 7 over nothing. So had you bet the player, that's a good bonus. 7 points. 7 minus 0 is 0. 7 minus 0 is 7. So you'd probably win at like 6-1 odds or something. Each casino has a different pay table, but it's going to be at least 4 or 5 or 6-1. Player shows 1, bank has a natural 8, so natural 8 over 1. That's even money on the bonus if you bet the bonus. You're trying to win by 9 points, obviously. Player natural 9. Player wins natural 9 over 1. Both sides have to draw to win the 30-1. To win by 9 points, both sides have to draw. Player shows 7, banker has 5. Player stands on totals of 6 or higher, so card for the banker. Bankers are reduced to nothing. So here again, the players win 7 over nothing. So that's a good bonus again. That's a good dragon bonus because they win by 7 points. Player shows 1. Banker also has 1. So this is going to be a 2-card draw. Card for the player, card for the banker. Players increase to 7 again. Bankers are reduced to nothing. I didn't set this up, I promise. But the players win 7-0 again. I didn't set this shoe up. It just happens to win by 7 points. That's a good bonus. Player 6 and stand. Remember, the player stands on all totals of 6 or higher. Banker shows 3. So card for the banker. Bankers increase to 5, but the players win 6-5. Any questions? Let me know in the comments. I'll try to answer them best I can. Player shows 1. Bankers have 4. Okay, so this is a new one. Player draws on totals of 5 or less. When the banker has 4, it draws when the player's third card is a 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, or 7. If the player does not draw the bankers is going to draw, unless it's a natural, of course. So the player remains at 1. Since this card is not a 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, or 7, on 4, bankers will stay on 4, 4 to 1. So had you bet the bonus, you'd have lost, because 4 minus 1 is 3. You have to win by 4 points or more, remember. Player, natural 9, that's the maximum. Uh-oh, tie hand. So no action on the player, no action on the banker. Tie is a tie, push is a push. Had you bet the bonus, it had just been a push. On the tie, you lose the bonus bet, so I forgot to tell you that. Player shows 3, bank has 5. So the player is going to go first. When the banker has 5, remember it draws when the player's third card is a 4, 5, 6, or 7. When the banker has 5, set rule is 4, 5, 6, or 7. Okay, that card's not a 4, 5, 6, or 7. So the banker's going to win 5 over 3. How many minutes, James?
10.
So we're 10 already?
Yeah.
Player shows nothing. Banker has 5. Okay, player goes first. And when the banker has 5, remember he draws a third card when it's a 4, 5, 6, or 7. Okay, that is a 4, 5, 6, or 7. Players increase to 6, but the banker must draw. Well, the banker's increased to 7, so the banker wins 7 over 6. Had you bet the bonus, though, you'd have lost. Alright, so remember at the end of the shoe, at the end when the shoe's over, the dealer breaks it down or whatever, and you have to pay the commission. So if you're in seat 5, you owe 75 cents or whatever the commission is. Always, almost every casino, at the end of the shoe, you settle the commission. You can pay the commission whenever you want, but definitely at the end of the shoe. Peace out, guys. Have a good one.